Hello and welcome to a very blustery Chicken Tuesday. I've been growing this. It's wheat grass from seed, and I wondered if the girls might like it. Now you don't want chickens to eat too much long grass because it can get balled up in their crops and cause them sort of impaction problems. But so I'll keep an eye. But I was hoping that what will happen is they will bite little bits off this and munch through it rather than pull out the whole strands. So let's just see, shall we? Okay, well, Edith's liking it. Oh, now that's a whole bit. We don't want that to happen too often. Just bite little bits off. Beryl's not interested, or is curious anyway. Here comes Hamble. I don't like the whole bits coming out. That's better, Beryl, just bite bits. Oh my goodness, look who's in. Hello, Robin. What are you doing in the chicken run? Hi. I know what you're doing in the chicken run. Scoot. Okay, so these girls are liking it. Is that good? There was a couple of instances where Edith pulled out a full blade, but I think mostly they're just biting the tops off, which is good. Exactly what I was looking for. Is that scrummy? Beryl's not interested, and Matilda hasn't come over yet. Oh, here comes Matilda. Nope, she's doing something else. Right, I think that'll do you. Oh, don't want you having too much. What I could do is actually, cut the grass into a couple of bits, sort of skim off the top and drop the grass in, which I might do just to make sure they're not pulling out blades and forming a ball of grass in their crop, although I think it would take a lot more than what we've seen to do that. Matilda? No. So I've come indoors to have a little chat to you about Beryl. Now Beryl, as those of you that have watched my previous videos will know, is one of my younger chickens. She's about 18 months old and is a hybrid, which means she's a cross between a couple of different types of hen. She's a cross between a copper black Marans and something else. And ever since we got Beryl, I don't know, 15 months ago or thereabouts, she's been laying eggs all the time, almost an egg a day, certainly 5-6 eggs a week. And that's great if you like lots of eggs, and that's fantastic. I really like that, but that's not really why we have chickens. We have them as pets with benefits. And it just so happens, because she's a hybrid, hybrids tend to lay more eggs than the purebreds. But that comes with challenges, and if you've seen the past couple of Chicken Tuesday videos, you will see some of the problems that we've had with Beryl recently. Specifically, she became quite ill, looked very uncomfortable, stopped eating, was drinking a lot, then stopped drinking, and basically looked at death's door. Ended up spending a few days in an avian vet's. Has had lots of antibiotics, anti-inflammatories, and seems to be great again, which is fantastic. But we didn't know what was the cause of all the problems that she was having. We just imagined it was something reproductive system related, and that can be a sort of downside to having hybrid chickens sometimes, because they lay so frequently. They can maybe get a higher instance of health problems relating to their egg production than hens that lay less. By the way, if you're listening to all that noise, it's actually chucking it down with rain outside and blowing a gale. I'm sure you can hear me over it though. So so that's one of the downsides of having hybrid chickens. So the vets thought, it's probably something to do with the sort of egg production. We've got her through the symptoms. Let's just see what happens. So she's been fantastic, absolutely fantastic, and she still is. She's very vocal, running around, eating tons. Seems to be normal in most ways. She started molting, where she gets rid of her, or releases her old feathers and grows new feathers, which is indicative of her body coming back to normal. I think she was due to molt, and now her body feels well enough to molt. That's great. She started, I noticed a few days ago, she started crouching, and what that means is it basically means a chicken is mature and is going to be likely to lay eggs, and it happens if you approach a chicken quite quickly and maybe go down to pick them up quite quickly. They'll crouch down in their hunkers, and it's what they do when a cockerel comes to visit them. And it's sort of indicative of them being submissive to you as a person, and they do that when they're sexually mature, and they do that when they're going to start laying, in effect. So she started a few days ago crouching, so it was obvious that she was going to start laying. And of course we're like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen here? Because we knew that the problems that she had were probably in relation to her laying. So yesterday, I could have sworn she was going to lay. I found her in the nest box in the morning. She was merely sitting there, quite happy, throwing little bits of straw on her back, as they do when they're sitting in the nest box, making a little nest. And I thought, yep, she's going to lay. Didn't lay. And that was a surprise, but sometimes that happens. But this morning when I went to clean them out, I noticed something in the nest box, and it wasn't an egg. And closer inspection, it is what people call a latch egg. And a latch egg isn't actually an egg. It is. It comes down the same tract. It is basically a capsule of pus. Sounds gross. It is gross. It's very meaty. It's a bit like a sausage. A bit gross. But when you look inside it, you can see not soft pus, but what has been pus inside. So I thought, that's almost certainly been, I'm certain it was Beryl. It all ties in with where she was sitting last night, and the fact that she was looking as if she was going to lay. So I thought, right, latch egg, we'll need to talk to the vet about this, because a latch egg can be, is usually a symptom of a condition called, let's see if I get this right, salpingitis, which is an inflammation and infection of the oviduct, which is part of the hen's reproductive system, and it's not good. Generally, I'm led to believe that by the time you're getting a lash egg, it can be, the infection might have gone too far to actually do anything about it. Now, I'm waiting on a call from the vet. I called earlier on, and they set aside some more antibiotics and anti-inflammatories, which I've picked up, but I've not managed to see the vet yet. She's going to call me later. I'm hoping that because Beryl has already had like 2 lots of antibiotics and anti-inflammatories, over a week's worth of that's maybe knocked it on the head, and this is just not the byproduct, but this is just the sort of tail end of the infection. That might not be the case. I don't know. I'll see when the vet calls and we can have a wee conversation about it. But we've got another week's supply of antibiotics and Metacam, which is the anti-inflammatory / painkiller. Beryl looks fantastic. If it wasn't for the fact I knew she'd been ill and the lash egg, I wouldn't be concerned. She just, she's fine, she's eating lots, she's bouncy, very vocal, as I say. So we went out and brought her in, because it's raining, to give her antibiotic and Metacam tonight, and noticed something else in the nest box. And that other thing was a squished up soft-shelled egg. So that is potentially something that Beryl has laid, and it could well be related to the things not being quite right in the reproductive system or the egg system. It could also be that the lash egg has come out, she's laid a soft-shelled egg, and she's maybe just getting back into the way of laying. So we'll see. I'm not, it's not all doom, gloom and despondency. The fact that she's looking brilliant is the thing that I'm holding on to. So that is the state of play with young Beryl. She's continuing to keep us on our toes and giving us a little bit of a worry, but I say she's great in herself right now. So we can only hope that things will have a positive outcome, and I will keep you posted on that. Now what I'll do now is I'll show you some images of the lash egg. I will let you know once the images are away, just in case you're squeamish and you don't want to see them. But I'll pop a few stills up of the lash egg that I had a look at this morning, or we got this morning, so you can see what it looks like if you're interested. Meanwhile, or for now, that's me, I think. Thanks so much for watching, and sorry it's been a bit of a chatty one rather than a looking at the girls one so much, but yeah, thanks very much for watching. If you do like listening to my videos, please subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and if you want to be alerted to any other videos that I post, just tap on the bell and you'll get alerts every time I post videos. I do also have a Facebook group that is a partner to this channel, and I'll post the address of that at the end of the video as well. And if you want to come and join me in that group, that would be fantastic. And we can chat there. You can post things on the channel yourself and see what's happening around the garden with the chickens and the quails and the things that I'm growing. Anyway, that is me for now. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to talk to you again very, very soon. Bye for now.